Hey, it might be a disappointing season for us this year, but yeah, we won yesterday, so go Dolphins. I have to show my Dolphins pride a little bit. So here's a match with PokeVoid. I think he's also called Impulse, not really sure, but he messaged me on MSN wanting to battle. So I go into Metagross, he goes into a Fortress as lead, and I go to set up the Stealth Rocks because that's what my Metagross does. And I'm kind of hoping his other move is Earthquake or Explosion. So I go into Mismagius and try to set up the sub, but actually he has Payback, which really sucks. Because as soon as I see that Payback, I know I'm just in big trouble. Because I really have nothing that can really hurt this Fortress too much. So I go into Quagsire for the sole sake of it can take a Payback, and I'm hoping I'll be able to finish off in a decent amount of time with like Earthquake or something. So I go for the Earthquake, but he actually ends up going into Rotom, which obviously isn't good because Rotom has Levitate. And I'm kind of expecting that Grass move that Rotoms can have when it's in the cut form. Don't remember the name of it right now, but oh well. So I go into Scizor expecting that, and I have the Pursuit on this Scizor. But he actually makes a great play and just Will-O-Wisps me, which kind of blows. But I think he's probably going to switch here, so I go for the Pursuit. So I end up at least getting some damage on it with Pursuit, but after the burn, even with the Choice Band, it really does nothing because burn halves your attack. So he goes into Gyarados now, and he gets the Intimidate, so now my attack is like non-existent, and that really sucks. And yeah, I don't want to give him like free setup, so I go back into Quagsire. Pretty nice for me, he goes for the Waterfall, so my Quagsire's Water Absorb kicks in, and at this part of the battle, I'm like, crap. There's like so many things in his team that I know can hurt me. I go for the Toxic to try to get the Toxic off on something. I was kind of hoping he'd switch maybe into like Rotom or something, but he doesn't. He just stays in and taunts. So I go for the Ice Beam because it's like the only thing I have that can hurt Gyarados, but he ends up going into Fortress and that resists it, which isn't good. And I really have no idea what this Fortress is going to do now. He ends up going for the Payback, which doesn't do a whole lot, and I just go for the Earthquake, and I end up doing decent damage to it, like, not great damage, but, you know, probably actually more than I expected. But anyway, yeah, so, in the beginning part of the battle, I'm not gonna lie, he completely rapes me, like, throughout this entire battle, I kind of thought I would lose, and I might still lose, you'll have to see, but, so anyway, he goes for the Rapid Spin, blows away my Stealth Rocks, which is really bad for me, because I really wanted those Stealth Rocks to stay there, obviously, for Gyarados. So I just go for the Earthquake, and it does decent damage to the Fortress again, and I'm just kind of expecting him to, I go into Scizor, expecting him to maybe, like, explode or something, but he ends up just paybacking again, so that kind of just randomly kills my Scizor. And I guess I kind of wanted to get damage on the Fortress before I died, so I just decided to go for the Superpower. But he goes into Gyarados now, and, yeah, I use Superpower on Gyarados after the Intimidate, which means it'll do just about nothing. So that sucks. And Scizor is going to be taken down with a Burn, but, you know, Burn Scizor really wasn't that useful anyway, so whatever. So, I go into Raikou, because I figure it's better time than any to set it up. I go for the sub, he predicted the sub this turn and goes for the Waterfall, and I don't think he'll predict the sub again, so I decide to just go for the sub again. Hoping that he'd switch this turn, predicting a Thunderbolt. So I do go for the sub again, and my hunch is correct. He does predict like a Thunderbolt this turn and goes into Latias. So I go for the sub, and that's pretty nice, and I'm just going to try to set up the Calm Mind. If he goes to the Draco Meteor, then he'll have -2 special attack when I have +1 special defense, which would be nice. So there you go. He goes into a Heat Rain now, and I'm faster, and I use Thunderbolt, so I know this thing isn't Scarfed. So that's pretty nice for me, and I'm going to be able to 2-hit KO it after a Calm Mind. He's going to break my sub with Earth Power, which kind of sucks, but yeah, sometimes those things happen. So I'm just going to finish him off now with Thunderbolt, and that's always a positive thing, so that is a dead Heat Ran. But he goes back into Latias now, and I know if it's Specs I can outspeed it, but if it's Scarfed I won't be able to. So I'm just kind of hoping it's Specs and not Scarf, and I go for the sub again, but unfortunately for me it is Scarf. And like the best thing I really could have done is just Hidden Power Iced it, so it really, you know, I would have gotten some moot damage on it, but Yeah, I guess some damage better than no damage. Unfortunately, it is Scarfed, and he's able to 2-hit KO my Raikou now. And I really couldn't switch out Raikou there simply because it would be dead on the switch in due to spikes. So I go into Miss Magius again, and I kind of just set up a Calm Mind because I thought I would be able to 2-hit KO this Fortress after a Calm Mind at this point with friggin' Hidden Power Fighting. Fortunately for me, this is a max special defense fortress, which I kind of figured, but still, just wow. After a Calm Mind with Miss Magius, I thought I'd be able to 2-hit KO a just above half health fortress, but it doesn't look that way. Payback doesn't quite kill me, which I kind of expected, but Hidden Power Fighting doesn't 2-hit KO him either, which really is just bad. So he finished me off with Payback, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'm going to go out into Fortress, and I predicted to switch and go Ice Beam, and his final move really just screws me over, and I'm like, crap. So he goes for the Pain Split, and I did not expect that. So that blows, and I was just kind of hoping to maybe finish off with Ice Beam. I was actually predicting a switch there, but I didn't expect him to get half his health back, and that sucks. So he goes for the Payback here, figuring I guess he doesn't have anything better to do. I'm just going to keep trying to predict a switch into either Latias or Gyarados and Ice Beam, because I just don't feel right going for the Earthquake. And I figure, hey, I might even get a Freeze if I'm lucky. So he goes into Infernape. That's the guy I didn't know that he had yet, or last, and Ice Beam doesn't do a whole lot, and I really don't have a safe switch. I decided to stay in, and because I kind of figured he had Grass Knot, but I just wanted to make sure. So he goes for the Grass Knot and kills Quagsire, which sucks. But I know he probably doesn't have Hidden Power Ice if he has Grass Knot, so I go into Dragonite, and figuring this is my last hope. So I go for the Dragon Claw here. I was kind of hoping he'd switch in a Latias, but didn't turn out that way. So I go for the Dragon Dance. And I just really have to play this perfectly if I want any chance to win this. So I go for the Dragon Dance, he goes for the Pain Split. It hits Dragonite to, I guess about a quarter after the leftovers, really whatever. And I just thought he'd go into Latias here, and that was a great play. I was thinking he'd go into Latias there, and I was right, and really, Dragonite's biggest problem, Scarf Latias, goes down, which is awesome for me. So that's pretty sweet. So he goes out into Gyarados here to get the Intimidate, and I'm just going to go for the Dragon Claw because I know I'm faster after a Dragon Dance, and I'm pretty sure I can take at least one Stone Edge. But he ends up going into Fortress, I guess to maybe wither my attack down with Intimidate, or to maybe scout out the Thunder Punch if I might have it. So he goes back into Gyarados here as I go for the Dragon Dance. And I kind of figure I need 2 missed Stone Edges to win anyway, so I'm just going to go for the second Dragon Dance here. So I go for the second Dragon Dance to get, +1 more attack, because I need at least 1 missed Stone Edge in order to win this. That's a 36% chance, and I get a missed Stone Edge, which is holy crap. So even after all that, Dragonite is just so epic that he's able to, pretty much just make an epic comeback and win the game. Before I sent out Dragonite, I thought I lost. I had a 0% chance to win this match. I was done. But 36% chance is this chance that Stone Edge misses once out of 2 times. I'm able to get that, which is actually really rare. Sometimes I'll have 80% chance to win and then just lose due to hacks. But it's nice to be on the other side of that for once. But 36 isn't too bad. I mean, Gyarados really turned a 0% chance into a 36% chance. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm just going to Dragon Dance here again because I really need to 1-hit KO this Fortress. Because if I don't, Payback's going to kill me. And I know I can take another Payback looking at how much damage it did, so I went for another Dragon Dance here to just get as much attack as possible so I might be able to 1-hit KO this Fortress. So I won't be able to take another one, so I just have to Earthquake this turn, and it is enough attack to take down the Fortress, which is good. And that's pretty awesome because that Fortress that has been just harassing me this entire match is finally dead. So that's really nice. And he just goes into Gyarados here, I guess to get the Intimidate before it dies, because I'm just going to Dragon Claw the Gyarados now for the KO. and I still have +2 attack, so I should be able to one-hit KO the Rotom. He does go out into it. I end up getting a crit, but I didn't think it mattered. This is an adamant max attack Dragonite, so and at +2 attack, I don't think it mattered, but who knows? Well, actually, I ran the damage calc, so I do. So, yeah, he goes out into Jippy now, his Infernape, and I'm faster, and I just go for the Earthquake. So, good game. Wow, I can't believe Dragonite turned it around for me. Yeah, just really fun match. I thought I was raped for a second. So, good game. Rate, comment, subscribe, and check him out too. Link in the description. Alright guys, leave a comment about your favorite flying type. Mine is probably, just because I'm old school and I just like it, Zapdos. So leave a comment about your favorite flying type, and see you guys next time.